From the scarlet tier of the MVAC right over to the gray side with Campbell Memorial and Coach Canterino now joining us from the Red Devils. And Coach Canterino now, how are we doing today, sir?
Good. How you doing, Ty?
Oh, not doing bad at all, as the Camel Red Devils coming in 7-1 on the season. And Coach, we talk about it too post games, as it seems like every single night it's a different guy for you guys, and you guys have such a wealth of talent, it seems like, this year. Talk to me about the impact of the players that came back, and what does it mean to you as a coach that this is the community they wanted to end their careers in. This is where they wanted to be to end everything, and it was under your coaching that they wanted to end their high school careers under.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You always feel appreciative that these guys wanted to come back. They kind of went their own ways, and each of them were stars wherever they went. And for them to kind of get together and be like, hey, we want to go back, we want to finish it where we started it. It's kind of special and kind of talks about the kinds of individuals they are, that they just want to come back and try to win something where they could have been somewhere else and kind of got the personal accolades and stuff like that. But they wanted to get back together and try to win something together at the place where they started. So, again, I just feel fortunate that it happened.
I mean, looking at it, too, and just looking at the talent that you have, you guys off to a 7-1 record, too. And we look at what you guys have been able to do just offensively and what we've seen in scoring and what all these athletes are capable of doing. I mean, you have multiple guys capable of putting up 20 a night. But just looking at it, I think this team hasn't even reached its ceiling yet, is what's scary about it, too. And I think you'd agree on it. What do you think this team can continue to improve on, and how do you think this team can get even better come the second half and second portion of the season?
Yeah, like you said, I don't think any coach thinks they're a finished product 8 games into the season, especially with some guys coming back that weren't around for 2 or 3 years together, just kind of still getting that familiarity with each other. But again, I think it tends to stick in our hands a little bit. And again, when you got 7 or 8 guys that are capable, like you said, of scoring 20 points, that tends to happen. But it's just, showing them film, talking, making them realize that, when that ball gets reversed, it makes it a lot easier. It's a lot easier looks, layups, all that kind of stuff. Got a dog barking there. Sorry. But yeah, just getting these guys to realize that it can be easier than, maybe forcing a shot here and there. But yeah, I mean, we have a long way to go, and we're excited. I tell you all the time, I think we're a defensive team. And I think when we get, all our stuff put in and fine-tuned and stuff, I think we're going to be a really dangerous team down the road.
Looking at your just coaching philosophy and coaching styles, is there anyone, NBA, college level, even high school levels before, what are some coaching styles that you try to implement into your game and that you're trying to kind of implement? Maybe you're not copycatting, obviously, but what are some schemes and some coaching tendencies that you want to implement in this team, or you're trying to?
I've always loved Roy Williams, just the way the transition game they had. They try to get it out quick and outrun you. And again, being a Duke fan, I've seen that, more times than not. But I was just always impressed with how fast the Carolinas and the Kansas teams were that he had, just getting the ball in transition and scoring on fast breaks without letting the defense set up. And that was just one of the things, especially with the group of guys we have and the athletic ability we have, just trying to get the ball down the court as fast as we can. Trying to get those one-on-one matchups or trying to even beat them down where it's a wide-open layup. And I think Jameer Weaver's really done a good job with getting that ball down the court for us. He does a good job of finding people, but we're starting to get a little bit better at leaking out after we get the rebound and then just finding people. Like I said, just beating them down the court. But, yeah, Roy Williams is always a guy that I was impressed with from that aspect. That's just something I thought we could do this year, or at least try to do, I should say.
I mean, talking about that, too, I want to add that question about Jameer, because he's one we haven't had the chance to talk about, Coach. I mean, we talk about Xavier, we talk about Kevin Moore. I mean, big scorers in their own right and obviously deserve all the talking they get. But Jameer's that guy that it seems like the engine, it's running through him. It's facilitated, and the ball's touching his hand a lot. How important is he to making that offense go, and how important is he when you necessarily can't create that offense from defense in the transition game, setting up in the half court and trying to get old school offensive buckets?
Yeah. What I've always been impressed with Jameer, even when he was younger, was he always has a poise to him. He never gets sped up. He's always thinking. He's always asking questions. I think he's our smartest basketball mind. But yeah, he's always asking, why are we doing this? What about this? How about this kind of things? And you love having those conversations as coach, and especially coming from a point guard. Like I said, I'm just really impressed with his poise, just always under control. But yeah, I don't think he kind of gets some of the credit he has. I know he was up for Player of the Year last year in the league. But yeah, a kid who can score the ball from anywhere, really uses his body really well, can handle, can defend. But yeah, he's a tremendous player. I'm sure you're going to be hearing about him coming down the road. But I know you've done some of our games, so you're kind of familiar with what he brings to the table, where some of these other people might not be too familiar with him yet, but his time's coming.
Certainly excited to see it too, as it seems like it's someone different every night. Final question for you, Coach. And you talked about those Duke teams and those guys you take inspiration from. And the one thing I also say is those Duke fans, they're like a cult, so they support their team hard. Looking at the Red Devils now, it seems like this team got the talent, and boy, I call them the rockin' Red Devils. Is that the faithful in the crowd that come in, because they are rocking, and when things happen, they get loud. Just talk to me a little bit about that community support and how important and how influential it's going to be for the rest of this season and going into this second part of the season.
Oh, absolutely. We're just excited that they can be there. Last year kind of had limited fans everywhere we went. So not that it didn't feel like a normal season, but you just didn't get the full atmosphere everywhere you went. But I've always said our gym gets loud. Even when it's half full, it's loud. But this year, we got an exciting team out there. So a lot more students are coming out, a lot more community members. So that place gets loud. Like you said, we've been fortunate enough to get a couple highlight reel plays, a couple dunks here and there, and that place just goes crazy, which is awesome to see. But yeah, just impressed with people that come out, support us. Campbell's a great community, and I'm glad we're able to put something out there that people want to come see.
Certainly a great community indeed, and if you guys haven't had a chance to see them, you need to, as Campbell, next game, I believe, you guys are on the docket Tuesday, January 4th at Champion, I believe, is still scheduled. Of course, we know in this crazy part of the year, any given night, something could happen, but just for last part before we let you go, Coach, just kind of give us a soft preview on this game and where everyone can come in and try to find you at Champion if they haven't come and seen you yet.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the task in front of us. Champion's always well coached. I know they kind of have a coaching change this year with Kish gone, but I mean they've been a good program, consistent program the last 10 years. They got some big bodies that we're going to have to box out and defend a little bit. But like you said, we're just hoping we play. This time of year with all these games getting canceled. I know they got canceled. Oh, you there?
Yeah, we're all here. We're good.
Oh, okay. Went blank on my screen. Sorry about that. I know they got canceled last night. So like you said, we're just hoping that we're able to play. Like I said, you never know what's going to happen coming back from break here. Seems like there's a lot of cancellations, but we're just hoping we're playing, so we're not, playing 4 or 5 games a week down the road. I don't think anyone wants to do that. Yeah, we're just excited to get this underway and excited to see how far this team can go.
We're certainly excited to witness it along with you, Coach, as you could catch Campbell Memorial and Coach Canterino with the Red Devils Tuesday, January 4th at Champion. And, of course, stay tuned to YSN for any updates or changes to schedules. Coach, thank you so much for joining us today.
All right, Ty, appreciate you guys.
I appreciate you as well.